So whatever the explanation I gave earlier is the one that you have to use in your exams. I'll just try to explain it again for those of us who are not able to understand the previous argument. This is also right, but this is not expected from you. You are not expected to use this in your exams, especially the CBSE exams. So this is a source of light. Light rays from here reach here, light rays from here reach here. From here you have a secondary set of waves which reach a particular point. From here another secondary of waves reach this point. Suppose I call this S1, I call this S2. The distance between the two slits are very narrow holes, much lesser than the wavelength of light. This is called small d, the distance between slits, and this is capital D, the distance between the slits and the screen. This is the screen on which you see the Young's double slit experiment, the interference patterns. So this is any point P. Then again we have to find out S2P minus S1P. Just for your information, this distance is usually in millimeters and this distance is usually in meters. So we are talking about very small angles here. Okay, in such cases, if I drop a perpendicular from here, I can assume that this is going to be the path difference. And if this is the path difference, this path difference can be equated to d sine theta. That means if this angle here is theta, then I'll have, I don't want to call this angle as theta. I would like to call this angle as theta, which will approximately be equal to this angle. So if this angle here is theta, I can show that this angle here will be d sine theta. And for very small angles, you know that d sine theta will be approximately equal to d tan theta. And the tan theta will become equal to y divided by capital D. So dy by d, this is the path difference. Now I have to convert this path difference into phase difference. Now I know that lambda path difference is 2 pi phase difference, right? So one path difference will be 2 pi by lambda phase difference. So dy by d path difference will become equal to dy by capital D into 2 pi by lambda phase difference. Now I know that if this is equal to 2n pi, I will have an intensity maximum. So I cancel the 2 pi's here, cancel the 2 pi's here, cross multiply. I will get y is equal to lambda d by d. That is n lambda d by d. This will give me the points where I have an intensity maximum. So the first point will be 0. The second point will be lambda d by d. The third point will be 2 lambda d by d. Then 3 lambda d by d. Then 4 lambda d by d. And so on. And in between these two, I have a minimum. In between these two, I have a minimum. In between these two, I have a minimum. Okay, so what actually happens on the screen looks something like this. That you have a screen here. On the center of the screen, you have a bright spot. Then you have a bright spot. Then you have a bright spot. Then you have a set of bright spot. This is how the screen looks. The blue thing that you see will be the places where it will be bright. In between two blues, exactly, there will be a black, there will be dark thing. Now, here what are we doing? We are saying that S2P minus S1P is equal to path difference. Now, we have drawn these points in such a way that the difference of distance from two fixed points is the same. That means at this point, the distance between from this point and this point is the same. What will be the locus? So that will be a rectangular hyperbola. So these fringes will be hyperbolic in shape. Why? Because they represent points such that the distance of this point from these two is fixed. The distance from this point from these two fixed, the difference in distance from these 2 points is fixed. That's why you're getting an intensity maximum there. Okay? So I hope you are able to understand this. Not in all cases will it be hyperbolic in shape. Suppose I take interference patterns from a thin film. I can see bands. I'll see dark bands, alternate bright and dark bands. Suppose I take interference patterns as in the Newton's ring experiment. You'll see them as concentric circles. In fact, this is quite interesting because here the center of the screen will not have a bright fringe, but it will have a dark fringe. I'll explain why it will have a dark fringe in one of the later videos. Okay, so this is the basic physics behind the interference patterns as observed in the YDSC. Now sometimes you may you may feel like asking a question, is it that here the intensity is high, in between the intensity is low, is it that energy is getting created? No, energy is not getting created. What is happening in a YDSE is energy is getting redistributed. Suppose you take a sand pit, and then you travel this way, you will see that some sand goes this way, then if you travel this way, you will see that you are making patterns of this kind. Is it that the sand at the other point is increasing, or is the total sand increasing? The total sand is going to be the same, just that it is getting rearranged. So there are heaps and there are places where there is less of it. Exactly the same thing is seen here. Remember, in a Young's double slit experiment, energy is redistributed. The total energy received by the screen before and after is the same. Just that because of the two slits and because of interference, that energy got redistributed. At certain points you have more energy, in between 2 points which have more energy you have less energy. Like energy has shifted from here and it has gone that side, shifted from here, gone that side, shifted from here, gone that side. So that is what it is. Okay, so this is a Young's double slit experiment. You have straightforward questions, you can have very complicated questions. We will try to see each one of them once we complete the theory. Okay.